They thought the story of power ended when the throne was left empty. But power never dies. It waits, it watches, and when the next generation reaches for it, it demands a price. The official teaser of Power Legacy does not just promise another chapter, it promises a war that will decide who truly deserves the name, the empire, and the fear that comes with it. This is not about money. This is not about fame. This is about survival in a world where blood makes you a target and weakness gets you buried. The teaser opens with silence that feels heavy, like the city itself is holding its breath. We see a dark skyline, lights glowing in tall buildings. But the mood is cold. It feels like something is unfinished. That unfinished feeling is the heart of this new story. The old generation built an empire with lies, deals, and blood. But empires do not disappear when their leaders fall. They leave behind enemies. They leave behind secrets. And most dangerous of all, they leave behind heirs. The title Legacy is not random. It tells us clearly that this story is about what happens after the king is gone. Who steps forward, who hides, and who is ready to destroy everything just to sit on the throne as the teaser moves forward. We sense that the main character is living in the shadow of someone powerful. Every step he takes feels watched. Every choice feels judged by a past he cannot escape. He carries a famous name, and that name opens doors, but it also paints a target on his back. The city remembers the old ruler. Some people respected him. Some people feared him. Many people hated him. Now those same people are looking at the next in line and asking one simple question. Is he strong enough? That pressure builds tension. In every frame, this is not just about building power. It is about proving that he deserves it. We also notice that loyalty is already breaking. In quick flashes, we see faces that look unsure, partners who seem distant, and allies who may not stay loyal for long in this world. Trust is fragile. One wrong move can turn a friend into an enemy. The teaser hints that betrayal will play a big role in this story. It shows us that the new leader may not even know who is truly on his side. And that makes his journey more dangerous than the one before him, the previous generation fought. 2. Create power. This generation must fight to keep it. There is also a strong feeling that the rules have changed. The streets are more violent. The enemies are smarter. The system is watching more closely. The old tricks may not work anymore. This forces the new generation to think differently. Will they follow the same path of fear and control? Or will they create a new way to rule? The teaser does not give us clear answers, but it gives us enough tension to know that the decisions made here will change everything. Another powerful element in the teaser is the theme of identity. The main character seems torn between two lives. One side of him may want peace, something normal, something clean, but the other side understands that power is in his blood. He was raised around it. He understands how it works. The real conflict may not just be with enemies outside. It may be inside him. Can he escape the past, or is he slowly becoming the same man he once judged? That inner battle makes this story deeper than just crime and money. It becomes personal. It becomes emotional. The tone of the teaser makes it clear that this will not be a simple rise to power story. It feels darker. It feels heavier. There is a sense that every gain will come with a loss. Every win will cost something important. Maybe family, maybe trust, maybe love. The idea of legacy means that you inherit both the crown and the curse. And from what we see in this teaser, the curse may be stronger than the crown. By the end of this first look, one thing is clear. The war for control has already started. Even if no shots have been fired yet, the tension is alive. People are choosing. Side plans are forming in secret. Old enemies are waking up. The throne may be empty, but not for long. The only question is who will sit on it and how much of their soul they will lose in the process. The teaser begins to feel even darker as we move deeper into what this new chapter is really setting up. This is no longer just about stepping. into someone else's shoes. It is about carrying a weight that was never meant to be light. The city does not forgive easily, and it never forgets. Every street corner has memory. Every building has history. The empire that once stood strong did not fall quietly, and the damage it caused still lives in the shadows. Now the next generation must walk through those same streets knowing that every mistake made in the past still echoes in the present. What makes this section of the teaser powerful is the quiet tension between generations. The past leader ruled with fear and control. He believed that power meant staying 10 steps ahead and never showing weakness. But the world has changed. The new faces rising in this story are not impressed by old reputations. They are hungry, smarter, and more reckless. Respect is no longer automatic. It must be earned again, and earning it may require crossing lines that even the previous king refused to cross. This creates a dangerous situation because when someone feels forced to prove themselves, they often go too far. There is also a strong feeling that the empire is already cracking from the inside. We see hints of business meetings that feel tense, conversations that look forced, and partnerships that are clearly built on fear instead of loyalty in a world built on trust issues. One small doubt can destroy everything. The new leader may believe he is in control, but control in this world is fragile. Money can disappear. Allies can switch sides. Secrets can leak at the worst possible moment. The teaser makes it clear that danger is not only coming from outside enemies, it is growing quietly within the circle. Another key detail in this section is the pressure from law enforcement and political forces. The system is watching more closely than ever. The mistakes of the past have made the authorities smarter. They are no longer reacting after the damage is done. They are planning, waiting, and building cases slowly. This means the new generation cannot operate the same way. Every move must be cleaner. Every deal must be smarter. But being smarter also means taking bigger risks, and bigger risks often lead to bigger consequences. The game has evolved, and the rules are sharper. The emotional side of this story also becomes clearer here. Power is not just about business. It affects family. It affects love. It affects identity. We sense that the main character is struggling to balance personal relationships with the need to protect his name. People close to him may not fully understand the world he is stepping into. They may fear what he is becoming, and that fear creates distance. When someone chooses power, they often lose peace. That emotional cost is something this teaser quietly hints at through cold expressions and heavy silence between characters. There's also a clear message about reputation. In this world, your last name can open doors, but it can also close them. Some people will follow him because of the legacy. Others will challenge him because they believe he has not earned it. This creates a constant need to prove strength. And when proving strength becomes the main goal, mercy disappears. The teaser suggests that the new leader may start making choices not because they are right, but because they show dominance. That shift can change a person completely. One of the most interesting ideas shown here is the difference between fear and respect. The old empire was built on fear, but fear creates enemies. It builds quiet hatred that waits for the right moment to explode. If the new generation continues that same method, history may repeat itself, but if they try to rule differently, they risk looking weak. This impossible balance is what makes the story so intense. There is no safe option. Every path carries danger. As this section of the teaser unfolds, we feel the beginning of a larger storm. Small conflicts hint at bigger wars. Side characters who seem calm may be hiding their own plans. The power structure is unstable. It feels like one wrong move could cause everything to collapse. And maybe the collapse is exactly what some people are waiting for. This is where the theme of legacy becomes more complex. Legacy is not just inheritance. It is expectation. It is pressure. It is a test. The new leader must decide whether he is protecting the empire or rebuilding it. He must decide whether he wants to be remembered as a copy of the past or as something stronger. But becoming stronger may require becoming colder. And once that line is crossed, there may be no turning back. By the end of this part of the teaser, it is clear that the battle ahead will not be simple. It will not be clean, and it will not only be fought with weapons, it will be fought with strategy, loyalty, and sacrifice. The city is watching. The enemies are ready. And the legacy that once felt like a gift now feels like a challenge that could destroy everything if handled the wrong way. As the teaser moves deeper, the focus shifts from outside pressure to inner transformation. We begin to see that the real battle may not be between rivals on the streets, but inside the mind of the new leader. Power does not change a person overnight. It changes them slowly. Choice by choice. In this part of the teaser, there is a clear sign that the main character is no longer reacting to events. He is starting to plan them. His silence feels sharper. His movements feel more controlled. This is the moment where hesitation begins to disappear and strategy takes its place. There is a strong sense that he is learning from the mistakes of the past. The old empire fell because of trust placed in the wrong hands and emotions that clouded judgment. Now, the new generation seems more careful. Conversations look calculated. Every meeting feels like a test. Instead of showing anger, he listens. Instead of acting fast, he waits. That patience can be more dangerous than aggression. When someone stops reacting and starts predicting, they become harder to defeat. This growth shows that legacy is not only about blood, it is also about learning from history. But growth comes with a cost. As he becomes more focused on control, he begins to lose connection with the people around him. Friends start to feel like tools. Partners feel like pieces in a larger game. The teaser hints that he may be willing to sacrifice relationships if it means protecting his position. That shift is important. It shows the beginning of emotional distance. When power becomes the priority, everything else becomes secondary. Love, friendship, loyalty, all of it can become negotiable. We also start to see new threats stepping forward with confidence. These are not small-time enemies. These are organized, patient, and just as ambitious. They do not fear the family name. In fact, they may see it as weakness. They understand that carrying a famous legacy means carrying emotional weight, and emotional weight can slow someone down. This creates a smart and balanced conflict. The enemy is not reckless. The enemy is strategic. That makes the upcoming war feel more intense because both sides are thinking ahead. Another key element in this section is control over territory. Control is not just about owning businesses. It is about influence. Who controls the streets? Who controls the information? Who controls fear? The teaser suggests that territory is shifting quietly. Deals are being made behind closed doors. Old alliances are breaking apart. New ones are forming in secret. It feels like a chessboard where every piece is moving at the same time. No one is fully safe. No one is fully secure. There is also a growing sense that the main character is starting to accept who he truly is. At the beginning, he seemed unsure, almost conflicted. Now, there is less doubt in his expression. It is not happiness. It is acceptance. He understands that stepping away is no longer an option. Once you enter this world fully, there is no exit without consequences. This acceptance makes him stronger, but also more dangerous, because when someone accepts the darkness within them, they stop fighting it. Family tension becomes sharper in this part of the teaser as well. We sense that not everyone agrees with his direction. Some may want peace, others may want revenge. Different visions for the future create cracks inside the circle, and those cracks can be used by enemies outside. Internal disagreement is often more destructive than outside attack. If trust breaks at home, the empire cannot stand for long. The teaser cleverly hints that betrayal may not come from a stranger. It may come from someone close. The theme of reputation continues to grow here. Respect is no longer given because of the past. It must be reinforced in the present. The new leader seems ready to send a message. Not through loud action, but through precise moves, a warning, a calculated response. Something that reminds everyone that he is not just living under a legacy, he is building his own. This shift is powerful because it marks the true beginning of his transformation. At the same time, the pressure from law enforcement remains strong. The authorities are not blind. They see the power shift happening. They may even be waiting for the right moment to strike when the empire is weakest. This adds another layer of tension. The leader cannot focus only on rivals. He must also stay ahead of the system. That double pressure forces him to think on multiple levels at once. By the end of this section, the tone feels heavier than before. The game is no longer about survival alone. It is about dominance. It is about proving that legacy is not a burden, but a weapon. But weapons can hurt the person holding them if used carelessly. The transformation has begun. The strategy is in motion. And the war ahead will not just test strength, it will test how far someone is willing to go to protect a name that the world is ready to challenge. As the teaser reaches its final stretch, the energy shifts from quiet planning to clear warning. The feeling is no longer just tension building in the background. It feels like the first move of a coming war has already been made. The new leader is no longer standing in someone else's shadow. He is stepping forward, fully aware that every eye in the city is watching him. The silence that once felt heavy now feels dangerous. It is the kind of silence that comes before chaos. In this section, we see signs that the power balance is changing fast. People who once acted confident now look unsure. Rivals who believed they had time to prepare may realize they underestimated him. There is a sense that he has studied everyone around him. He understands their weaknesses. He understands their greed. And instead of reacting emotionally, he is choosing his moments carefully. This patience is not weakness, it is control. And control is more powerful than fear when used correctly. At the same time, the cost of this rise becomes clearer. Power demands sacrifice. We sense that someone close to him may pay the price for his decisions. Maybe a trusted friend becomes a casualty of the game. Maybe a family bond breaks under pressure. The teaser hints that loyalty will be tested in the harshest way. When survival becomes the top priority, difficult choices must be made. And once those choices are made, there is no going back to who he used to be. Another strong theme here is identity. At the start of the teaser, he seemed unsure about who he wanted to become. Now that doubt is almost gone. His face shows determination. His actions show direction. He is no longer asking whether he should lead. He is deciding how he will lead. That change is powerful because it marks the final step of transformation. He is no longer carrying the legacy as a burden. He is shaping it as his own. But shaping something powerful often means breaking parts of it first. We also notice that the enemies are preparing just as seriously. They are not sitting still. They are watching his moves, trying to predict his next step. The teaser suggests that this conflict will not be one-sided. Every action will have a reaction. Every victory will invite retaliation. The streets are restless. The business world is unstable. And even political figures may be involved in ways we do not fully understand yet. This expands the story beyond personal revenge. It becomes a larger battle for control of an entire system. The final images in the teaser feel symbolic. A look that shows confidence mixed with warning. A moment that suggests a deal has been made, or maybe a line has been crossed. The message is clear without needing loud words. The era of uncertainty is over. The era of action has begun. But action in this world is never clean. It leaves marks. It creates enemies. It changes people. One of the most important ideas in this section is that legacy is not just inherited. It is defended. The throne may look powerful, but it is never safe. Sitting on it means becoming a target from every direction. The teaser makes it clear that he understands this risk, and instead of running from it, he accepts it. That acceptance is both inspiring and dangerous. Because once someone accepts the risk of losing everything, they are capable of doing anything to prevent it. Family remains at the center of this storm. Blood ties can be a source of strength. but they can also create deep conflict if someone inside the family disagrees with his vision. That disagreement can turn into betrayal. The teaser leaves us questioning who will stand beside him when the first real battle begins. Trust is fragile, and in a world where power is everything, trust is often the first thing to break. As the teaser closes, it does not promise peace. It promises impact. It promises that the next chapter will not simply continue the story, it will redefine it. The new leader has made his decision. The enemies are preparing their response. The city is waiting to see who will fall and who will rise. And the legacy that once felt like history is now becoming the future. This final stretch makes one thing clear: power does not disappear. It evolves, it changes hands, it grows sharper. And in this new chapter, the question is no longer who built the empire. The real question is who is strong enough to protect it when everything begins to burn. As the story moves toward its final layer, the focus shifts to consequences. Every decision made so far begins to feel heavier. The new leader is no longer testing the waters. He is fully inside the storm. The teaser suggests that the first real strike has already happened, even if we do not see it clearly. There is tension in every frame, like something irreversible has taken place. And once a line is crossed in this world, there is no clean way back. We begin to sense that the empire is entering a new phase. It is no longer about building quietly or defending territory. It is about sending a message to rivals, to the system, and even to his own circle. The message is simple. He is not temporary. He is not weak. He is not a placeholder for a greater name. He is the present and the future, but proving that may require actions that change how people see him forever. The emotional cost becomes even clearer here. The more powerful he becomes, the more isolated he appears. Power creates distance. It builds walls between a leader and everyone else. Friends may still stand beside him, but they may not truly understand.